Hello, and welcome back to the second instalment of the Vanilla Vine with, once again, Mr. Matty Blythe. It's Friday night, we're on the beers. Lads. Proper fucking lads. Right. And this episode, I know last episode was quite rugby heavy, so a lot of people might not have found it that interesting. But this episode, if I can get my notes up, is all about Matt's time in Iraq after rugby league. So, first question. How did you get there? And don't say flight.
So thanks for having me on it again. Thank you very much. What do you mean? How did I get there? What do you mean, like?
Like, how did you get the...
Oh, the job?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah.
So obviously you went straight from rugby into...
Yeah. So I got...
Going to Iraq.
So when I went to Warrington for my last year, I was on peanuts. So basically they said they give me some educational money as well, which I wanted actually. And they give me X amount. So then I literally the week after that started did a bit of research and then went for a company called Vanquish, who I am now the managing director for. And I did my training with them. So I did my close protection training with them in Manchester in November. And that was a year before I obviously deployed to go to Iraq. And then obviously I did some medical qualifications as well. So did all that whilst I was playing. Did a few jobs as well, executive jobs down in London whilst I was playing as well. Just to get that experience of being on a live operation and just getting used to putting to practice what I've actually done, what I've actually learned, which was really, really good. A couple of them could have been full-time gigs as well, but unfortunately, not unfortunately, but I was playing at the time. So I knew a guy, I won't mention any names, who was pretty high up in the industry in Iraq. And I asked him, is there any chance I could, I wanted a bit of life experience after rugby league. I wanted something where, in this industry, I love the industry. I love being a security operative. I love being in close protection. And he asked me, do I fancy it? And I thought 100%. I didn't think twice at the time. When I actually got to Baghdad, I actually thought twice. Thought I may as well just go home now. This is ridiculous. But no, without that guy, I wouldn't be obviously getting the opportunities and getting the recollection, I suppose, at this minute in time. I have done a couple of things, and it is life after rugby league, and there's been a couple of people who've been on our courses already that I've obviously want to try, because there's a lot of skills involved in this, in being a professional rugby league player that actually does transfer to being a bodyguard, basically, or close protection operative. So that was it, mate. Yeah, I literally knew a guy, give me literally an opportunity, and I took it with both hands, mate. It didn't, obviously, when I was over there, this guy was pretty high up, so it wasn't like job immunity or anything like that. I always try to, when I was playing rugby league, is back myself and make sure that I wasn't letting that person down or myself down to that extent. And obviously I wasn't ex-military, so that at first probably scared the clients a little bit. Obviously I did minimal weapon handling and stuff like that. I did do it back in the day when I was 18. I did actually go through selection to become a para, which I did when I was 18 and passed. So I did a minimal couple of weeks experience there. But apart from that, it was something I've always been interested in, something I've always liked, protection and looking after people and making sure they're safe. And just from there, mate, just went all the way through there.
Yeah. How much were you breaking it on the flight out?
To be fair, it wasn't bad when Dad actually took me to the airport.
Yeah, I remember that.
Don't see Dad cry that much.
No.
You never. No. Probably once or twice.
Yeah.
And he's not renowned for it, is he?
He's not renowned for his emotion.
No, not at all. So that got me a little bit, and I was just like, right, because what the rotation was 8 weeks there, and then like 3.5, 4 weeks home. And I was fine with that, you know what I mean? I had no ties here. Obviously, I have no kids, no wife or anything like that. So for me, it was an easy, like, family's family. I love my family to bits. but at the same time, nothing was really keeping me in Warrington, which was good. And I was fine, literally fine. Went to, obviously, the check-in. Checked in, I think, obviously, it was we used to go through to Istanbul. A lot of people from different airports went to Doha or Dubai. But I once I went to Doha, and I always went through, transitioned through, Istanbul. So then I was there for about 10 hours. The layover was like 10 hours, so I had a few beers. Definitely had a few beers, 100%. But I didn't want to get there cooked. And then as soon as I went to the terminal to Baghdad, then I knew it was real. Then I knew, obviously, that the flight was different.
Twitchy bum.
Oh, mate, it was hot because I obviously had some operational briefing that I had to go through when I was there. So, and I never knew what the airport was like. I didn't, the airport's not that bad. The people,
surprisingly,
it's not that bad. I've been in worse airports. I swear, I have.
Well, Portugal.
Oh yeah, bad.
I don't think I saw a cushion or a piece of.
No, it's not amazing. Not gonna say it's not amazing, but it's not like the worst thing I've been. But yeah, when you land, because you that's the question I asked as well. How do I get to Baghdad? How do I get to Iraq? Obviously, there's no.
You're not gonna have like Jenny from Jet 2.
No, that's exactly.
Hi, Matthew.
But so like some of them, like you see them like mid takeoff just walking about and stuff. I was like, what is going on? And obviously you see a lot of Westerners on there as well, so a lot of people that are going out. There's loads of companies out there, so you do actually, there's a lot of people that you probably see at Manchester that are on your same flight. You can just say who are operators, and it was just that. And then obviously landing, had to sort out my visa. So you had like a 6-month visa, and then literally I got my bags, and then I was like, right, what do I do now? And then got picked up by an ad hoc team, which then took me to the villa in Baghdad.
How long was I think you've told me this before, how long is the car ride to where you...
where we went...
you stayed on...
Yeah, we stayed on different... Yeah, where we stayed first was in a different part of Iraq. And we obviously went to Baghdad, and they had to get me bloods done to say, is he HIV positive? Which I don't think they tested. I think they just put it in the sunlight and just go, yeah, he's fine. I think they just go like,
he's good.
Yeah, he's fine. No, it's extra money.
Smell it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it smells like blood.
So got me bloods done, and then went to a camp where then I knew a guy there anyway. I actually met him before the deployment to say what it was like, what was the day like, what was the missions like, this, that, and the other, and he give me a really good overview of what to expect. And obviously didn't know anybody. They didn't know me. They knew there was a civilian coming, so someone that's not literally been in the military. But everyone from day one was absolutely amazing. Like, no one was bothered. No one was actually bothered. I did everything the right way.
Yeah.
I took
you in with open arms.
Took me with open arms, and then obviously did all my training that I needed to do. Did all my weapon handling. Did all my went on the ranges. Did everything that I needed to do. Procedures. Standard operation procedures. Action on drills. In case of a client evac, went through everything, and then that was it. Like, literally went out on mission the next day.
Yeah, so you skimmed over some of the training regiments that you did then.
Yeah.
First bit of training I want to know, obviously, it's most interesting. Guns.
Yeah.
How scary are they to handle? How powerful are they?
Yeah. Well, I've never handled an AK-47 before. We did not too
naturally.
Yeah. Might be from Orford, but you know what I mean. But no, it was it's a weird it's a good weapon. I actually liked it.
I imagine you get, even just with the training, you just get a massive adrenaline.
Well, this is
rush.
the reason why.
As soon as you hold that gun,
yeah,
like, wow.
Well, it is to that. Yeah, 100%. Like, it is. I did it when I was a little part of the military, so we did weapons, and I'm not too sure what the weapon was. A lot of British Army and that will know what it is. I have no idea. Couldn't tell you. I'm not a massive weapons fan. Yeah. But yeah, it was. We just went through everything. Just went through, obviously, weapon handling tests. So how to strip it, how to make it safe, how to obviously fire the weapon. how to clean it as well, because we obviously with an AK you could literally put it in a puddle and then put it in the desert and it'd still fire. So it's very, very durable, which is probably a reason why we use it, as well as it's cheap. And it's what they have over there anyway. So yeah, mate, it was good. I loved it. I absolutely loved the whole operation. So it's not just the weapons. It was literally, there's 1,001 things that could have happened. There's 1 or 2 scenarios that you'd get it put into, but again, there's a million scenarios that you could potentially be put under, and it's just how you dynamically assess it on the day.
Yeah, and I imagine it's not just like when you said before you was patrolling the next day. Imagine it's not just here's a gun, bye. You're constantly training. You're always learning.
We used to work. Excuse me. We used to work Saturday to Thursday. Sunday to Thursday, depending. Sometimes you'd work Saturday as well. And my voice has changed. I might have had a bit of fucking thing in my throat then. Jesus. Excuse me. We'd work mainly Sunday to Thursday. We'd have Friday off because it's their religious day. And Saturday we train every single week, regardless if it was we were training our local nationals, whether we were training ourselves in weapons, or we were going for scenarios of cross-decking or foot drills. We'd be doing something. We was always doing something. And then obviously, so we'd always train. You'd have to. It's like rugby. I threw the ball. You've passed the ball probably about 1 billion times. And people still get it wrong. So it's the point of you keep training, and practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
So it's exactly the same in this industry as well. Definitely, I still do it now. I still go through things that I've gone through the course, like law and legislation, things like that I've constantly forget. Even stuff on the courses that I run now, I'm like, oh, Jesus, I don't even know that. I forgot it.
Yeah.
So you just pick it up again, and it's just like you have to retrain.
Yeah. What was your first? I'm going to say patrol, you might have a different word for it. So you're getting, obviously, I don't know if we've said it, but you was, in a nutshell, the bodyguard / carer for the bomb disposal experts.
Yeah. So the bomb disposal expert, EOD.
It's pretty much self-explanatory.
Yeah, exactly. So, but obviously our objective, or the client's objectives were, obviously to go to places of interest where ISIS implemented their devices, which were there was a lot, there's a lot of places that they put them in just to mess up the economy. There was bomb factories that they'd obviously make around and make massive IED belts so nobody could get towards them. Very clever, ridiculously clever. Some of the things that I've seen, and the improvised devices that they actually put together are unbelievable. Like I actually never thought. I just thought they were just little gang.
3-wire.
Yeah,
3-wire.
Honestly, but the things, it's madness, absolutely madness. And that's just the way it always has been. But yeah, my first ever mission was on my birthday. It was on my 27th birthday. 27. Yeah, 27th birthday.
You're getting old now.
Jesus, and that was like 3 years ago. 3 years ago now. 4 years ago.
3, 4. Yeah.
3, 4. Yeah, whatever. So yeah, it was on my birthday, and we went to a place. Yeah, so we went to a place with our clients. There was a good convoy of us as well. So I think there was like 3 teams that went up there anyway. And I was in good hands. I had a lot of friends, like really, really good friends there, and I still speak to them every day. Well, near enough every day now. And they all looked after me, which was good. I knew what I was doing fundamentally, but again, different terrain, different area of orientation. You are going to be nervous. You're naturally going to be that, and I was. I literally didn't want to step anywhere. And we were out for a few hours, and as time goes on, you get to speak to people, this, that, and the other, and it just becomes that you could become a little bit more, not relaxed, but
knowledgeable.
Yeah, definitely. And as the times went on, you get better and better and better. Experience. You know what I mean? That's what you need, 100%. And I've never had a complaint or never had a client that's been in danger. So that's a good thing. And they've always, regardless of my ex not being an ex-military, but it's the same with everything. Like I've always had this. Not when I was there. I always thought you needed to be ex-military, and I always thought that was the case. Fortunately,
From outside in,
you have to be. Well, most of the time, 99% of the time, you have to be 100%, and that's because of obviously the terrain that you're in, and then because obviously people have been in there in Iraq or in the deserts or the rainforests or anything like that, or whatever they train in these days, and they get used to the terminology and the way that the military works. But it doesn't mean they're a good operator. You know what I mean? Like, it's rugby league coaches or football coaches. Footballers that become coaches are never really good coaches. You know what I mean? So it doesn't mean just because you know what you're doing doesn't mean you're amazing. Which I've tried to try to make people aware of that, to say that do you need to be ex-military, because it's a question I get asked quite a lot. And for me, you don't. I think if you're a good character, if you want to learn, if you're determined, and you sacrifice, you've got good integrity and you've got communication skills, and you put, I think this industry is perfect. But again, it's that, if you're ex-military, that you're the be all and end all, which is not the case. I respect the military after being out there, putting their lives and everything on the line, absolutely unbelievable, or just their livelihood, like just by signing up. I have 100,000,000% for respect for military, 100%. But in this industry, I think there is room for characters, and there's room for people that actually want to do this and do it well as a job, 100%.
So, I know that you worked with a lot of, not necessarily locals, maybe native to the
so that local nationals.
Yeah. I don't know, you've told me a couple of funny stories about them, because were they the drivers, or was there a teenager who was driving or something like that?
No, they're maniacs. Yeah. They're absolute maniacs. I think I've had one decent driver. Yeah. No, a couple. I've had a couple of drivers, but they don't drive like we drive over here. So driving through Baghdad, there's 2 lanes or something like that. No, there's about 19 lanes. Nobody waits for anybody. And then being in armoured B6s, trying to stay with the convoy is difficult. I hated driving into Baghdad. I hated it. And sometimes you'd have to. At first, I was the driver. I was an operator, and then obviously moved up through time. But yeah, the funner, honestly, there's a hand.
Very, very broken English as well.
Oh, ridiculous! So they go. Yeah.
Just laugh
honestly, yeah. They are. We had a good when we moved from one camp to another, which was an air base, and we went obviously to a different tribe, a different district. We had some really good locals. They were young, very, very young, but they were grateful for obviously the employment, 100%, just to help the families and help, the people around them. They were very, very grateful. And you could see that. You really could see that. Like, at first I was like, we have locals working for us. Why? Yeah. But they want us to help. They wanted, it was this, a Department of State contract that we were on. So, and it was very, very good, and it was amazing. But we got to learn. I got to learn, and I got to work with people that live in that country. Know the country, obviously. Know the checkpoints that we go through, know people that work the checkpoints, the paperwork that we have to go through, they know all that, so we don't have to mess with it. So they helped you out in a big massive way, yeah, massive.
Like, I imagine not even being like arrogance on your side, just when you said, why have we got like Iraqi nationals,
it's we're in their country.
Curiosity, like,
massively.
Why are they working for us when
we're in their country? Yeah. And I never really understood that at first. I was like, well, we're working in their country. Why wouldn't we employ people that actually know the terrain, know the areas we're going to, and know the people around us as well? And obviously a lot of goes into it. We don't just hire them. We don't just go, yeah, come on, we'll have you, because you just obviously you don't know. You need to obviously have precautions and get vetted. Even I got vetted. You know what I mean? So we vet our operatives, and then obviously these men get vetted as well, 100%.
Did you see any, Joe, when you see on obviously the news and on not even documentaries, films, and they portray these third world countries, so Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan. They portray the residents basically in it, not homeless, but basically living in just such poverty.
Oh yeah, the poverty is.
What is it?
It's
actually like?
It's nothing I could explain. It's excuse me again. It's ridiculous. Like we've gone to places. Obviously, some of our places we went to were very, very like high poverty. They had obviously UNICEF camps on there where obviously they teach the kids and have to take the kids in as well. We went to a lot of UNICEF camps. And then obviously we have a team that teach the locals how to, not search, but if there is the grounds, if you go in, if you're walking on ground you've never walked on before, there could be something there, 100%. And a lot of people die in Iraq because of these improvised devices because they just don't know where they are. And you'd be surprised, you see farmers and that, you still see farmers and that walking into the desert, with the sheep and stuff like that. I'm like, you're mad. Because we're literally working about 200 meters away from you. But yeah, I've seen people live in the worst kind of places. Literally where the roof could cave in on them because there was a bomb next door. You know what I mean? So it is mad.
Yeah. Proper opens your eyes, I imagine.
Massive. Like this is a reason why I wanted to go out there and get the experience, was obviously to work on myself to, because when I went to Warrington, it wasn't my best year of rugby league.
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy it anymore. It wasn't to the point of hating it. It's just I didn't have that passion. I didn't have that smile on my face, which I grew up with. And I wanted some life experience, and I wanted to work on myself and to do this. And to obviously not visit, but work in a country where I would never dream of working. Like I would never, if you told me like 10 years ago you'd be working in Iraq, I would have laughed because I'd be like, why would I want to do that? So yeah, for that it was just more. Yeah, like every other building had a bullet hole in it. Well, every building, bar probably you see, well, oh, that's nice. You literally look at the building and go, yeah, there's no shrapnel around here or anything like. So it's a so real place. Like people on the street, the kids. The worst is the kids. You'll go through a checkpoint and they'll be offering you water and coffee and that. And the kids, they literally, we take it for granted. We do, and I take it for granted still. I still come back and take it for granted of how easy we actually have it. And it is, and they have no idea what this world is. They have no idea. They have no idea. And it is their normal. Like literally, we used to go past, there was a motorway that we used to go past, and there was a shelter in the middle of the summer as well. And a kid would just lay there, and he'd come out, obviously try and offer you coffee and that. And obviously we don't open the door or anything like that. But it's.
Are you allowed to take
the
water?
No, we don't do that. We have water and everything in there, so we just don't, just for safety.
Yeah.
So, but it is, mate. It's heartbreaking sometimes when you see stuff like that. But it's it's the crazy world we live in, isn't it?
I know. I think it was actually a couple of times when you was there. You got put in the biggest lockdown possible because they turned off all of the
internet off.
Not just the internet, the communication towers.
Yeah, they turned everything,
and you couldn't even go for a piss without wearing a helmet.
No, that was it. So what was it now? I think that was it. So the Iranians, there's a lot of militia, like Iranian militia in Iraq. It was to my knowledge, I could be wrong here, funded a lot of the war. I think it stopped that or anything like that. I could be wrong, but that was my understanding. So we had, obviously when things were going mad with Trump threatening to bomb Iran. Iran was then threatening to bomb our air bases, which is unfortunately we were staying there.
And obviously your air base was majority Americans, wasn't it?
Yeah. So it varied. So we had like American Special Forces there. They had Marines. At first we did have a bit of English there, but they went. Danish, there was
also it was quite a large mix, then, wasn't it?
There was a big mix, yeah. There was a lot more Americans, a lot American based, but there was I met a couple of Australians there, that were more drone, that were more technical, from the more drone attacks and stuff. But yeah, so we couldn't leave our compound at one point. We had to wear a vest and obviously a ballistic helmets everywhere we went. We even in the scoff house, we couldn't. We had to, we couldn't sit in there. We had to take sandwiches and leave. We were seconds.
Was this when you had the tent, or was this when you actually?
We had accommodation.
Using a container, weren't you? Basically, just a shipping container.
Yeah, but they're like an ISO container. No, we kept all like our weapons. We kept weapons in there. We kept obviously stuff for vehicles, etc., in there. But it was like a little room. But they were amazing. Like, obviously lived in a tent for a year you could fit probably. There was about 8, but you had your own space, about as big as this room. You know what I mean? So you had about 8 people in a tent, which was with men with a high protein diet is not fun. Not fun.
Just a thick smog.
Oh mate, my eyebrows fell off every time because obviously the showers and that were outside. And then when you'd come in, you'd be like, "What? Fuck me! Come on, have a word, lads." Because obviously we and
I saw this. I have saw the size of some of the blokes she was there with.
Oh, massive!
And if they're that big, then the farts are going to be that big as well.
Bad, mate, bad. So that's it. So we were obviously in a tent for a bit.
Come on, with methane poisoning.
Oh, bad. My eyebrows fell off at one point. Horrible. But it was just we obviously had a few bits like that, few politics and that went on with Iraq and Iran and America and all that stuff. And then literally when I left, Al Assad Air Base where it was, which isn't, it was on the news anyway, did get bombed literally a couple of weeks after I left. Luckily no one, I don't think no one got killed or anything like that, which was good. But the lads they were in the bunkers for a couple of weeks. Wow. And these bunkers had like, I went in there once, and there's bats and rats in there and everything. So
tasty.
And they couldn't leave. Obviously, couldn't leave. We couldn't leave the beyond the wire. Didn't go in it. Couldn't leave at all because it was kicking off. It was kicking off. So they did have an indirect fire at the camp, and luckily no one. I'm sure. I don't think any of the Americans or any of the military got killed or anything. But it was literally weeks after, because I think the Americans did actually. I think on Baghdad it's a massive strip, so you obviously go through about 15 checkpoints, which is is what it is. And there's a massive strip towards the absolute terminals, and that's where I think it was the Iran. I forgot what his name is now. I think it's the president's right hand man or something got a drone attack from the Americans. Wow. And it's weird looking at it on TV. I think, oh my god, I actually go up and down there. But yeah, we've had a few like that, but it's politics. Politics at the end of the day that does all that. So it wasn't. It's what it is. We just abide by what we need to to do.
But Mr. Twat himself actually visited Al Assad. Was it Al Assad where you was at when Donald Trump visited?
Yeah, next door. Next door. Yeah. So we had our camp,
and I bet those lockdown restrictions were even bigger.
Well, we didn't know. We had, because obviously we have. On the base, we do have, if anything does happen, we have total blackout of networks. And that happened, it was Boxing Day. Was it Boxing Day? Yeah, it was Boxing Day. And I was like, has everyone got internet? So no one had internet, but it was a visit that nobody knew. So even the media didn't know about it. And then he was literally next door. So we were on our camp, and we had like special forces next to ours, and they obviously meted up there, this, that, and the other, and then met a few of the troops at one of our cookouses. So that was cool. That was all right. But I was just like, oh, right, okay. I found it on the news actually first, and I was like, oh my god, I'm not actually there. But yeah, that was pretty cool.
When you was talking, when we was talking about then that you were sharing, not sharing, but under the same roof as some very big blokes, because they all smash the gym.
Oh mate,
I mean, could probably be.
Oh yeah.
Easily.
Oh yeah. There's some of our clients. If some of our clients went down in contact, there's not a chance I'm saving them. They're massive. There's a guy, one of my good mates, he's a client, but he's a really, really good mate of mine. American, and he's massive. He's about 7. Well, he's not 7, but he's about 6'5".
Is this the guy with the beard?
Yeah. He's massive, mate.
Proper slaphead though, isn't he?
Oh,
Please don't break my neck.
But he's a nice guy, but loves the gym. But it's I think they had I think they have £1,000 club. I think it's because it's not kilograms.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that is.
No, I don't.
In kilograms.
So they have bench, deadlift, and squat, and I think he smashed over 1,000 in all. Obviously, all collectively.
Absolute freak. I've saw pictures of him, and
he's massive.
No, he's just naturally like that.
Yeah.
He's just massive.
Yeah, he is massive.
And even there was another bloke there as well. I remember you showed me video, and did he break the squat record?
Oh, some of them,
he looked quite. He didn't look too tall. He looked quite short.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
but the weight that he squatted,
yeah, these freaks
fucking break me spine.
Yeah, no. You know,
just thinking about squatting it.
Even when they said you come to the gym, I was like, no, not with you, mate. But you put them on a treadmill, mate. That's them done.
Yeah, done after a minute.
See you
Absolutely
later.
Done in.
But then they're not bothered about that. They love the weights.
When you was over there, it was like your first rotation, you came back and you
ridiculous.
Was absolutely shredded.
Because if you think about it,
all you're
in
doing
the summer,
is working and training.
Yeah, exactly. In the summer, all you drink, it must have about 10 litres of water a day, at least, because it's like 50. The worst it got there was about 52, 53 degrees. And obviously you've got your body armour on, and you've got your weapon, and your pants, and this, that, and the other. And it's hot, man. It's really hot. So all you're doing is sweating. All you're doing is burning calories constantly. And then you go in the gym for 2-3 hours a day after you're working for 8 weeks straight. And then I come back in unbelievable shape.
Unbelievable.
like the best shape.
It was like 4%.
I remember I went to Benidorm and I was in the best shape. I come back, but that went within like 2 days. Just bloat. Yeah, that was good. I loved the gym and the lads because it was good just to get out of obviously work and that.
A social aspect as well, going to the gym with them lot, because you living alone. You're always on your own. Yeah. You're working with them, but then you go back to your own room.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, house. And I obviously used to FaceTime family, friends, or whatever.
Yeah,
that was
the
nice.
Worst internet connection.
Oh, bad.
I've never saw.
We used to pay for that though. Well, when we went to obviously the camp. I know when we went to the camp. Is not the tent. We didn't pay for it. Obviously, the company paid for it. But then we had to obviously got reimbursed and that. But that's all you could pay for out there. Obviously, they had a thing called the PX, which is where you get all your sweets and shot. That you can get all like
I'll get onto that in a
t-shirts and stuff like that.
I've got 2 Al-Assad t-shirts.
Yeah, honestly,
still going strong now. About 3 years later.
The airbase is like a little holiday camp.
Well, you've got Under Armour sponsored stuff.
Exactly, Under Armour sponsored Iraq
crazy.
Stuff, mate. It's mad.
Yeah. So, cheat days. I have saw some of the. I remember once you put I think you had like a film and cheat day because I imagine you had the day off. And I never saw that many chili heat wave Doritos on a table in my life.
Nah. Well, that was with one of my other mates who sadly passed away, and we always used to raid the PX. I think their cheat day was different to mine. I wanted mine when I could have a bit of a lie-in, so the Friday. So mine would be Thursday night.
Yeah, I bet you felt shit
after it. I've had a lot of hangovers.
Like a hangover.
It was. I had 2 tubes. I was watching Game of Thrones. I was on the last series, and I was smashing it. I loved the Game of Thrones, and I had 2 tubes of Pringles within 15 minutes.
What flavour?
Sour cream.
Oh,
mate, bad. But I can't even smell them anymore. I honestly can't. If anyone gives it, I can't. I woke up. I felt the worst I've ever felt in my life. I've never had an hangover like it. But yeah, to be fair, it's a bit excessive, like smashing Pringles with like within fucking 15 minutes.
I think you've been eating clean for 7 weeks.
Yeah, I'd normally try to do it once a week, but if I'd miss it, then I wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
don't know why. It's just a bit of a mindset when I was there, just to get
Is that
get it past.
Did you just raid crisp? Really?
Just crisp. I'm not a massive chocolate fan.
You know, I've never saw you eat a chocolate bar. So you eat a Boost. I think I thought you eat a Boost.
I'm not massive. I'm all savoury, mate. Savoury. Yeah.
What was the canteen food like? Was it actually? Was it okay?
Good. It was good, mate. It was good.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it was bad. Obviously, we went through.
Because imagine some people think it's like literally like you've obviously watched The Longest Yard.
Yeah.
If you've not watched
Nah,
it,
it's not like
when
that.
they're in the canteen, it's just like slop.
Yeah.
Slop.
Nah, it's no, it's good. Some of the food is good. It gets repetitive, but you've got you know, you had a good salad bar there, mate. It was like a hell. Honestly,
Like Pete's salad bar.
mate, we had a Subway on camp.
Amazing.
We had a coffee shop on camp.
Halal.
Yeah, it was mad. It was absolutely crazy.
An Iraqi BMT.
Yeah, yeah. To be fair, I only had a couple. To be honest, I didn't want to spend any money over there. I was proper tight. Thought I've got free food here. Why am I spending money on something? And coffee shop there. We had like a Danish cafe.
Jesus.
So people, honestly, mate, people think obviously Beyond the Wire was a bit different, but in camp, fucking, I'd have stayed there for fucking. If we were on about this, if someone said to you, right, you have to stay here for a year, I'd be like, fucking,
That sorted me.
No problem. I've got the gym and I've got a fucking cafe. That's all I need. I was like, yeah, I thought that definitely. But I know a few people who used to do a lot of longer extensions. And I was always open to that. It really actually didn't bother me, to be honest with you. I didn't actually mind staying out there. Really didn't bother me.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you did a longer rotation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a couple of like 9-weekers and stuff. But
obviously when you got put in lockdown, that
went a little bit.
Kind of adds, done it?
Yeah. But again, because that was it. Because I think I had a holiday booked. I had a couple of holiday books. I don't know if it was ours. And we didn't know if we could get on.
No, we hadn't booked it. We were looking at the dates.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah,
and you was still in lockdown, and you didn't know when you was actually coming home.
That's it. Like, because everyone was winding me up, going, "You're not going home, lad." I was like, "No, I'll walk to fucking Baghdad airport." Bear in mind, it was like 4 hours away from where. Probably wouldn't have lasted that long, but yeah, it was mad, absolutely mad that. But that happens. But even now, because of the coronavirus, some of my mates have not been home since March.
Yeah,
so they've been there 7 months, 8 months.
Rolling in it though.
Oh mate, they've been
rolling in it.
They've been minted.
Rolling to Baghdad
some of the lads I know, they've been gambled it by now. 100%.
Yeah. One thing you touched on there, and you don't have to talk about it if you don't want to, but obviously one of your friends did sadly pass away.
Oh no, it's fine.
Yeah. That was that the guy you said was squat record?
Yeah. So he was again was a really nice bloke, client, American, and obviously was one of my clients for a bit. Yeah. For my clients for about a year, and I never had to deal with any of this. So I've never had to deal with losing a friend in that current situation, which it was, and obviously it wasn't on our contract; it was on a different contract, but. When he left, I was at home at the time when I heard the news, and I didn't know how to deal with it. It was weird. Yeah, I've never had to deal with.
You've not had any.
No, not
nobody
really.
You know.
Not in that situation.
Knows him.
No, exactly.
So
and it was difficult. It was difficult, and he was a good mate of mine. We've got these. A lot of us have got these bracelets which I wear every day, and still speak to the lads as well. You know what I mean? And it's been just over a year now since that happened, but. Yeah, I've never had to deal with that kind of like loss of someone via what happened, and it was weird. Yeah, it was definitely weird.
Was it just did the ID?
Yeah, it was just one of them things. I have no idea. I didn't really go into it with the lads or anything like that. It just happened, the way that it did. Yeah, it was sad, but it was just worse because I was here as well. So but it was one of them things.
You just can't.
No,
couldn't even.
No.
If you can help,
but even
stop a bomb going off, can you?
No, but that's it. I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of what happened, but at the same time, he was a good mate of mine. But sadly, will be missed. But.
Yeah. So I think that was shorter than the last episode, but that was quite
40 minutes. That
not
too bad.
Decent go. Hope everyone found that more interesting.
Yeah, rugby shit.
Because obviously the last episode was it was a rugby episode, it wasn't anything other. So I thought I'd try and change it up with this episode, and hopefully I can try and talk about maybe more like, I don't know, trending Netflix series or Netflix
Ozark, mate. Have you watched Ozark yet?
No.
Fuck, mate, get on it.
Have you not watched that Chris Watts?
No.
What's that? You know what? Sack it, I'm going to talk about it now. Right, so this isn't spoiler alert, this is common knowledge, this.
Right.
So there was it was about 2 years ago. In America,
Oh, that's a
obviously in America, there's this family called the Watts family. Obviously, you've got the dad, Chris. You've got the wife, Shanann.
Shannon.
It's basically Shannon, but it's an A at the end instead of an O.
Fair
Shanann.
one.
Then you've got, I think the kid, one of the kids was called Belle or Bella. I can't remember the other kid's name. But the wife was pregnant.
Mm.
And like I said, it was only 2018. This.
Really?
And in the documentary, you've got this guy, Chris. They look like the perfect American family. They've got a really nice house. Both got good jobs.
Yeah.
She's got some sort of what's it called? She's got a disease that it's not going to kill her, but she's just got like diabetes, like a type 2 diabetes. It's not going to kill you, but you've got to live with it.
Sounds like a fucking woman.
Yeah. And she's anyway. They start having trouble. She goes on a work trip to I want to say San Diego. But this is after she's been away for 4 weeks to her parents' house or his parents' house in North Carolina, and he's had to work for 4 weeks, so he's only gone out for the last week of the 5-week trip. And he's got there and he's not touched her, he's not really spoke to her, he's not kissed her, he's barely hugged her. He's just wanting to spend time with his kids. He's not really spoke to her. And this documentary, everything is true. Like, not true, sorry. Everything's real. So it's police tapes, it's text messages, it's phone calls, it's CCTV. Everything is actual from 2 years ago. Everything is just taken and put into
What's this on Netflix?
Yeah, it just got put on last week. And so they both get back from North Carolina. She's like venting to a friend on iMessage or whatever. And she goes to a work trip to San Diego, and then she do the work trip, come home, not messaged her while she's out there, nothing. Got back, and a friend who dropped her off from the airport hasn't heard from her in 2 days. She's not heard a word, and this Shanann is Facebook mad. Everything is Facebook, videos, Facebook, messages, Facebook. Everything is on Facebook on a wall, and she's not been heard from in 2 days. So she rings the police and just like I've not heard from a friend in 2 days, blah blah blah. Goes around the house. Chris isn't at the house. So like, what's going on? And then Chris comes home, like it looks like he's just been to the shops or something like that. It's just normal, just nipped out. Pardon me. And he comes home and the police are at the door, and he basically walks in the house and he's like, I don't know what's going on. Like, she's gone, the kids are gone, her car keys are still here, her passports are still here, her everything is still there, handbags still there, nothing is missing, nothing that she'd take on her if she was moving away from the kids because I've been having troubles. Nothing would be, everything that's in the house would have gone. And long story short, he ends up, you can obviously watch the documentary on Netflix, he ends up being obviously the prime suspect because there's no one else.
Is that is it
else.
the documentary one? Yeah.
And it turns out that he had
Don't tell me.
It's common knowledge, this.
Well, it's not common knowledge if I've not seen it. You've literally just told me the whole fucking story.
Yeah, I know.
Let's don't put me fucking watching it now, is it?
Well, I'm going to carry on now because we've already...
Don't, because I'll watch it. So, but I think I think I know a little bit of what... I think, someone's watched it. That has told me.
Yeah. So I'll tell the next episode. Because you can watch it.
I'll watch it.
You watch it and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
So...
It's a freaky, weird.
It's more...
Did you ever watch that pizza box, the bomber one?
Yeah.
Did you watch that?
When he puts a bomb around his neck.
Fucking hell, I loved that one. That was mega.
Yeah, and you had that big guy who wore Carhartt overalls everywhere he went.
I know, yeah. You know what I was thinking? Where's he got them?
Do you think it was him?
Nah, it was definitely that chick.
Crazy bitch.
Yeah, of course it was.
She was mad.
She was mad, mate.
Madness. Right. We'll end it there. So, I hope everybody enjoyed listening to that.
I think that sounds better. That would sound better, that as well.
Yeah, and we've tried it on a different software this time, so hopefully it sounds a lot better. So, thanks for watching, and see you in the next one. Cheers.